Auburn hosting Ball State is absolutely crucial to Hugh Freeze and the Tigers.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zac Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. We're dapping it up with the Darrell Dapprich, Montgomery radio legend, hanging out with us. We will drop our final thoughts and predictions for Auburn heading into their matchup with Ball State for their home opener this season. No Damari Alston. Not surprising there, but what do we see? What kind of impact could that have on the game and potentially the season? But this weekend's big, Darrell. And sure, it's the home opener, and it's going to be, a night game, and there's going to be a lot of electricity. But with that means you want your future Tigers on campus. And Auburn's put together a pretty impressive visitors list going into this Ball State weekend.
Well, I think it's the perfect storm for Auburn. I think it's really a great, the way everything's lining up. Number one, when you have such a large visitor list for a what you would call a non-marquee opponent,
right?
That tells you they're not there just to watch the game. They're there because they want to be at Auburn, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're playing Georgia, it's like, that's the first thing. But with that comes an opponent that you should be really impressive with. You should put up big numbers in the air. You should win comfortably. You should show out a lot. So I think it's a great kind of, combination of the two that's a win-win for Auburn.
Right. A few official visitors: Peyton Falzone, the 4-star Auburn quarterback commit, and then the 3-star tight end or wide receiver, depending on how he'll be used in the next level, Kentrell White. He's committed to Auburn. And then they've got a linebacker, Chris Wells. He's from Mississippi. He's a South Alabama commit. Kind of interesting. Wonder if he'll be back next week too. But I think two of these guys for sure. I think Kentrell White is extremely underrated. We talked about him when he committed to the Tigers. And then, Falzone, the Penn State flip 4-star quarterback. Like, these are guys you want on campus when these other guys are here. Like Braylon Womack's on campus. Jace Matthews will be on campus. A lot of these dudes are going to be on campus, and they're going to see, kind of the faces of Auburn's class.
The Chris Wells one is interesting because not only the South Alabama connection, but look who else is coming on campus that's got the last name Wells.
Yep, Corey Wells,
a 4-star defensive lineman who Auburn's really, really high on. So I'm not saying
he's committed to Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
So you want a kid on campus that you want to bring in. So I'm not saying that Chris is there because of Corey, but it's nice to have both brothers there. Very excited to get a good cannoli recipe from Peyton Falzone when I see him. See if we can swap some sauce recipes, and then I just think there's a couple more we'll talk about down the road. One that could be a potential flip candidate, or actually two flip candidates that we're hearing a lot about.
There's several flip candidates coming this weekend for sure. I asked you before we clicked record. You said the name I was thinking. We both agree. Shadarius Tootle, former Auburn commit, flipped to Georgia, 4-star linebacker. He will be here this weekend, or is expected to be here this weekend. That's a big one.
It's a big one because he's not coming in 3 weeks when they're playing Georgia. That you're committed to Georgia. Oh yeah, I'll go see Georgia play Auburn and Jordan Hare. No, he is coming to watch Auburn play Ball State, and we'll get Kyle to get his jacket out. Maybe break out the jacket that his dad gave him. We need to go ahead and roll out the red carpet. I think it's big. We've said all along that was a potential flip candidate. Yeah. And then the name I really like, and I want to make sure I pronounce this right, is I think it's Lasiah Jackson, who's a commit to Stanford. Right. So maybe you get Ashton Daniels in there to talk about the advantages of Auburn over Stanford. But hearing a lot of good things. McGriff loves it from what I heard. Really high on him. So that's a kid too I'm interested in seeing.
4-star tight end Xavier Tiller. There was a point where we all thought he was going to commit to Auburn. went to FSU, and we kind of lumped him into those groups of FSU guys where it's like, okay, they could possibly flip down the road. Then beating Alabama might make that path a little bit more difficult. But the fact that he's here, I think, means something. I don't know, Darrell. I mean, like you said, plenty of flip candidates for 2026. And then there's plenty of guys in 2027 that'll be here as well, and a few guys from 2028. But yeah, I mean, if you flip 2 or 3 of these names, like, it totally changes the entire complexion of the class.
I like the fact that it's a great combination of kids that Auburn really gets to, that is committed to Auburn. I mean, think about it. Falzone committed to Auburn. He's never been on campus. He's never seen Auburn, and he committed to Auburn. So this will be the first time he has even seen the school that he's committed to in person. That will reinforce that he made the right decision. Couple of Auburn commits that are already there. Couple of guys that are flip candidates. I love the combination. And I'll be honest with you, I understand that people that are really, really into recruiting do this for a living. I really tend to focus on the visitors that are in the upcoming class. I'm guilty of not really looking past 2026, and maybe I should more look at the 27, 28 guys.
So much can happen.
But my focus is just honed on, okay, the ones that committed to Auburn and the ones that could potentially flip that would be in next year's class.
Yeah, other Auburn commits that I don't think we've mentioned: 4-star linebacker Jaquez Wilkes. So he's a top 10 player in the state. And then Parker Pritchett, the offensive lineman, he'll probably play guard at the next level. He's expected to be here as well. So exciting stuff. Exciting. Can't wait to see him on campus. Hopefully Auburn puts on a product on the field that's exciting. There's been talk about the new lights and all of that. Like, this is a prime opportunity to whip all of that out and say, hey, we have fun here. Regardless of what happens, we celebrate what's on the field. I mean, you can look at other fan bases. They will be very quick to turn on you when something bad happens. That does not happen here. And, oh, yeah, we're building. We're starting an ascension, and hopefully you put a product on the field Saturday that's very, very exciting and electric. Because if that's the case, it's going to be rowdy. It'll be one of the more rowdy, like Auburn hosting Ball State crowds possibly ever.
Perfect storm because, A, you're coming off a big win over Baylor. Yep. So the crowd is ready to rock and ready to celebrate. The anticipation is off the charts. Anytime you have a home opener, it's big anyway. You bring it off the back end of being 1-0. I just think it's going to be – and then you get the opportunity to maybe see kids that you're so high on, like Deuce Knight and others, ball out a little bit. It's a perfect storm. Auburn will really, really benefit from this, I think, if they handle this right and take care of business like they should on the field.
No Damari Alston on Saturday. Honestly, this could be good long-term for the season. That's next right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at DoorDash. It's almost the weekend, Darrell. It's time to look back and crown this week's MVP on Who Delivered, powered by DoorDash. Just like you can win every Saturday with DoorDash Streaks, saving more every time you order. These players delivered when it matters most. Let's break it down. I mentioned Pleasant's kick return when we did this yesterday. Today, I'll go defense. I'll give Keldrick Falk some love. He was held on essentially every single play, and then the plays that he wasn't held on, he was in the backfield wreaking havoc. Give me an MVP of a player who delivered, presented by DoorDash.
Man, I'm taking the low-hanging fruit, Jackson Arnold. I mean, I just am. That's an easy one. You just teed it up for me.
Yep. So just like Jackson Arnold or Keldrick Falk delivered for Auburn, DoorDash delivers your Saturdays with DoorDash Streaks. You can save every Saturday you order, stack it up all season, and you could save up to $250, including $100 in DoorDash credits. Order this Saturday, keep the streak alive, and fuel your game day only with DoorDash. Terms apply, promo period through November 18th. Today's show is brought to you by our friends at Mazda. Mazda crafts cars for those who choose to do more than simply move. They follow what moves them every time they drive, and that's what makes Mazda stand out. They go beyond safety, style, and performance, deliver a driving experience that helps you feel alive in every detail. Mazda offers more than safety. It's won more 2025 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus awards than anyone else. It's the small details that make the big plays, and just like there's more to every player, there's more to a Mazda vehicle. Mazda, move and be moved. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Darrell Dapprich hanging out with us. No Damari Alston. Hugh Freeze mentioned he was questionable. We then, and everyone else agreed, like, then don't play him. Don't play him. If you do, play him very little. It's reported that he will not be active and dressed out and playing on Saturday. So what does that mean when RB1 does not dress out? I assume Jeremiah Cobb will start, but also, like, I don't want Jeremiah Cobb getting a full load against Ball State either. I think you see a rotation between him and Darrell Robinson in the first half, and I think you see then a rotation between Darrell Robinson and Omar Mabson, and then at the end, I think you see a rotation between Omar Mabson and Alvin Henderson, and then maybe some of the walk-on guys towards the very, very end of it. But I think from a health and then also just discovering what you have and developing that running back room, what Damari Alston can bring. I think this might be good long-term for the Auburn running back room.
I cannot agree with you more. I guess I'm just bugging and have this sunny disposition, and everything that's happening I'm looking at is a positive thing. Here's why. You nailed it. Do you remember the Jalen Williams, Chaney Johnson situation that happened 2 years ago where, to make a basketball analogy, he came out for one game, Chaney Johnson emerged, and you went, oh, there's a viable option off the bench. I could see the same thing happening in the running back room. You got to get Darrell Robinson some carries to see what you have. You got to see if Omar Mapson is all that they've talked about in practice. You got to see if Alvin Henderson is emerging somewhere out of the, of what's happening in practice. So that in itself is a positive. Then you keep Alston out so that he's healthy for the Oklahoma game, and where he's going to be fresher and healthier, not banged up going into Norman. So I think it's, again, you don't ever want running back one out of the game, but in this scenario, you could use this and spin it to be a positive for your program.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think Auburn runs it more or less than they did against Baylor? So they had 52 total rushes against Baylor. Do they run it more or less than that?
Way less. They are going to Arnold, Knight, 40? And Daniels are going to have
40 carries, 30 total. What do you want to say?
35.
35. How many of those 35 does Jeremiah Cobb get?
10.
Really?
Maybe 8. They're going to throw it so much that they're all going to have to ice their arms. 35 may be high. 30 carries maybe. I mean, seriously. I mean, and then, of course, you don't know how many Arnold's going to carry. I know you talked about it before. Maybe
I don't want him carrying it a ton.
With Brad Law, you're like, well, I can see maybe you went from 8 to 4 because he's going to be out of the game in the second half, which is a good assumption to make, right? So
yeah. So the reason I think that number is going to be higher than you do is because I do think they're going to throw it a lot in the first half. I agree. When they put Ashton in and when they put Deuce in at quarterback, I do think they're going to be more run calls there.
I would hope that's not the case with Deuce. If you're going to play him and it's out of control, let him throw it.
I agree. I don't think we see that, but I agree with you.
Yeah, I think, if you have him out there, I can come out of the press box and hand the ball off. If you have him out
really
there,
good at that.
Yeah, I would. And I'm really sneaky with it, the way I kind of go the opposite direction and you don't know. Yeah. Sure. I think if you've got Deuce Knight in the game, you let him throw it. You let him throw it to the receivers. You let him see how the ball comes out of his hand. Ashton, we already know he's a dynamic runner. That's what I hope. But you're right. You're probably right. It's probably what we won't see. I think, the over-under, I would put it at 35. And I would maybe even go under 35.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below. I would say 40 would be my guess. I would count 40. And I think you're going to see.
I'm going to be not happy if they run it 40 times Saturday.
I think it depends on what it looks like, though. I think if you throw it a ton in the first half and Jackson racks it up, I'm content. I don't really care about what happens in garbage time. I agree with you. I think it'd be better to see Deuce throw it. We all know he can run the ball, but I'm not predicting that we do see that.
I'd let Deuce throw it and Ashton run it because I don't want Deuce running it and getting hit. And
what's the point of running it with Ashton, though? Would be my question to that. Why? We know he can run it. Why?
Because it's his. First of all, we've learned he'll be the third quarterback in the game. So by the time he comes in, you don't want to be throwing it up 45. Second of all, that's his biggest skill set. So let's see it. It's all we've heard about. Put it on tape so that when we need him maybe in a game,
I missed that he was going to be the third quarterback in. I missed that.
That was a Freeze said today that the first quarterback off the bench will be Deuce Knight.
Incredible.
Yep. No, he said yesterday. Sorry, yesterday.
Yeah. No, at the
yeah.
Got it in the conference call.
Yep. He'll be the first one off the bench.
So I won.
So that tells you.
I won our bet then.
No, you didn't.
You're saying QB2?
That doesn't mean he's QB2. And Hugh Freeze even said that. He said just
for
this game. It's for this game because I think the opponent, Zach, seriously, I don't think you'll see him be QB2 against Oklahoma on the road. I don't see that. And it still says or next to it, right? So
sure.
That tells me that if he's the first quarterback off the bench, don't you agree now he'll throw more than he runs? He may throw it more.
It seems more intentional.
Yeah.
Seems more intentional. If they do that, and we'll talk about that a little bit in our predictions and final thoughts in a second, but I want to see if, assuming they get to the point where they can take Jackson out, I want to see who all they keep in with Deuce. I'd like to see him out there with Cam Coleman and Malcolm Simmons and Eric Singleton. And I'd like to see him with a starting offensive line for a drive or two.
I don't want to see him with Eric Singleton. I don't want Eric Singleton to play.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't be mad if Eric did not play.
Just rest Saturday.
Him up. I haven't heard anything about that.
I haven't either.
Surprised. Yeah. Little surprised by that. So
I am too.
His knee must be better than it has been, which is good. But
maybe he plays a quarter, runs a couple routes.
I want Eric to play very little for sure.
If he does play, what I want is the handoff on the jet sweep, because the 8 times that Auburn ran that, I think they gave it to him twice, maybe even more. Give it to him a couple times so that people don't start overplaying it and assuming Jackson's going to keep it all the time.
That play was a read, though. I think it's a read. I don't think it's a predetermined thing.
I'd still force it. I don't give a crap if it's a read. I'd hand it to him. I'd say hand it to him. It's Ball State. Give him the ball.
Yeah. They're clearly respecting it regardless.
They are respecting the heck out of it.
Awesome.
That is just great. I love it. It was like watching a conductor with an orchestra the way that was done. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
From the 113-degree press box.
I'm still sweating from that press box.
Lost 4 pounds. Ate a taco bar and still lost 4 pounds. How does that happen?
Yeah, right. You're sweating it. Water weight, baby. Final thoughts and predictions for Auburn and Ball State. That's next, right here on Locked On Auburn. Darrell, can you imagine paying full price for gas?
Zach, can you imagine? You've brought it out. It's been such a long time.
With upside?
Could you imagine back? It's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah.
It has been. It's been a lot of, we've got a lot of new sponsors here. It's been super great. It's a fun time of year. If you're still paying full price for gas, stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. A lot of people spend a lot of money on gas and fill up pretty often. It doesn't have to be brutal every time.
How many people are going to fill up Saturday? Think about that.
Yeah, a lot.
Coming from Birmingham, coming from Atlanta. All you lucky people that live in Auburn won't have to as much, but
that's true. You still got to fill up though sometime, right?
Exactly.
Hey, use our limited promo code football and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. So make sure you're nice and empty the first time you use it. Use promo code football, get a nice bonus there. So don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app. Use our code football for a limited 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's promo code football. Offer is varied by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. Today's show also brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, Auburn is a 43.5-point favorite. Darrell Dapprich. I don't know if I would bet on this game.
I don't. Those big numbers like that. And when I predict my score, you'll see where I fall on that.
Yeah. Wow. The over-under 52.5. I like the over.
I do too.
More than I like the line.
Me too. And again, that's going to be evident in my score prediction.
There you go. Hey, right now at FanDuel, if you're new, your first $5 bet, if it wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So if you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Final predictions here. I have Auburn winning this game 49-10 is my prediction. 49-10. So that would not be covering. It'd be really close, and the over would hit, according to our friends at FanDuel. I'm guessing we said something very similar based on your reaction.
We never even talked about it.
We didn't talk about it.
I had 48-10.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 48-10 over, but not covering. Same thing. 48-10. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So we're on the same boat there.
Yeah.
We're on the same boat there.
I've got us kicking a field goal. You don't. So
you've got us kicking 2 field goals, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or missing a PAT.
No, don't you.
I'm just saying. I'm just talking strictly about the math of getting the 48-10. Yeah, I think. I mean, I'd be happy with that. I know it wouldn't cover, and there'd be some people upset, and sometimes the context matters of that. But I wouldn't be shocked if it's like 28 or 35 points for Auburn at the half, and then things just drastically slow down in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. They're going to run it a lot. Ball State is. They've got a guy at quarterback that didn't play quarterback a year ago. There's no threat of a passing game. The clock's going to run a ton, and I think especially if Auburn chooses to run it a little bit more in the second half, I mean, it's not going to be a running clock, but it's going to be dang close because I think both teams are going to kind of keep it in bounds and kind of get the game over with is my prediction.
Except that I think Auburn's going to have a lot of quick strike touchdowns. I really do. I don't think they're going to have a lot of long sustained drives. I think there's going to be big chunk plays. I really do.
I think that would be the best case for Auburn. Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing about this is like, I want it to look good and like I want to dominate because if you only win by like 2 touchdowns or whatever, all the crap that's going to come out is going to be annoying. But I really just like, let's just get out of there with no injuries. I don't want Cam Coleman tackled 10 times. I don't want Eric Singleton tackled 10 times. I don't want anybody like just beat up from this game. Use it as an opportunity. So like scoring quick is good for 1, for confidence, and 2, just you're not getting hit as much, which I think does matter in this.
Agree 100%. I don't think we're going to get hit a lot. I think there's going to be some open field Saturday.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Ball is not a state.
Guess who I think is going to have a sneaky good game that I have just this feeling.
Yeah, I was about to ask who's going to be your MVP. I guess.
I wouldn't say MVP, but I think somebody that's under the radar that showed me a lot Friday night that I think could even emerge more in a game like this is Preston Howard.
Okay.
I mean, I know they're going to go to the receivers a lot, but I think middle of the field.
He got the first completion. Was that it?
I thought he had 3 catches.
Preston Howard had 1 catch for 7 yards. So he had Jackson's first completion.
I thought he had more than that. Okay. Well, my eyes have just – maybe he got called back on a penalty. May have.
I'm not sure. I don't really remember a whole lot of him from Friday. Yeah, the only player that had 3 receptions was Singleton. And then Horatio and then Brandon Frazier had 2 catches. Maybe you're just combining all the tight ends together.
Maybe I thought that Howard had one of Frazier's catches, but yeah. I could have swore. And then it very possibly could have been called back by penalty.
I'm interested to see how Ball State defends Auburn. Do they do something similar to Baylor? Do they try to stack the box to eliminate that from happening? I'm not sure.
I wonder if you look at the yards on the ground that Auburn got, and if you're Ball State's coach, you're like, I can't let them beat me on the ground and get 300 yards rushing. Can't do it. And so obviously doesn't play the 2 high safety and then allows Auburn to go over the top.
Well, the way they played Purdue, and some of this is like, Purdue's got I think they've got a new coordinator that I think likes to pass the football. He was with Lincoln Riley, I believe, most recently. And they just threw it so much. Purdue was 20 of 29 passing for 340 yards. They ran it 30 times for 93 yards. So it's not like they were crazy on the ground. How much of that is Purdue and how much of that is Ball State? I don't know. But like if I'm looking at this and I'm Auburn, I'm like, all right, well, we're going to throw it. We're going to throw it because Ball State seemed to be better at stopping the run based off. This is just box score stuff, but I don't know. I think the logic's there.
I got a sneaky suspicion about Malcolm Simmons too.
Okay,
I have a feeling, but we'll see. We'll see if these hunches come true.
Yeah, I mean, their quarterback, Kelly is his last name. He was 10 of 16 passing for 87 yards. His QBR was 17.3. I hate QBR as a stat, but like not great, right? And then he ran it 22 times. Like they want to run it with their quarterback. They want to run the football. And I don't know. Like, what does that look like if you're Auburn? You just
there ain't no
box. It's like, what's going to happen there?
If that quarterback runs it 22 times against Auburn, he'll be broken half by the time the game's. There's just no way. Not with the defensive line and Falk and some of those guys. I just can't see that. So,
I'm with you, man. I don't know. They didn't put anybody else in, or they didn't pass with anyone else. I guess they could have, but yeah, I think it's gonna be really one-sided. So.
I do too.
All right. How can people check out everything you've got going on? And I guess we'll do a quick programming note after that.
Follow me on X, DAP6410, Wednesdays and Fridays with you, and then what you're about to announce with the programming note.
Yes. So tomorrow I will go live right after the game. And then Sunday morning, you will have you'll join me for our little morning after. Well, that show will have a little bit more like press conference reaction and, of course, your opinions on the game. And then Monday we'll hit the ground running again. So be sure to make sure you're subscribed on audio or on YouTube. And we look forward to covering another weekend of Auburn football. Week 2 already here. Very, very exciting stuff. Please like the video. Please subscribe. And we will see you next time. This has been Locked on Auburn.